Introducing a mystery box. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Today we're going to be opening this box that obviously has Lego in it, but I have no idea what this is. It's not a set. What? It's just like arrived at my door and I was like, okay, we got a big old box of Lego here. Don't know what it is. It was from the Lego group though, so thank you so much, Lego, for providing whatever this is. I appreciate it. Interesting. This has never really happened to me before. Well, it's happened to me, but you know, I had an idea of what it was in the box, and this time I genuinely do not know what this is, so pretty interesting. I figured I may as well record it in case it's something crazy. Okay. Holy smokes. They never tape boxes like this. Okay. There we go. We got some brown paper. Are you kidding me? What the heck, man? In this box, I can't believe it. This is ridiculous. We have a giant bag full of parts. And we have yet another giant bag full of parts. 2 giant bags full of parts. For a project that has been long complete. Oh my gosh. Here are the parts for the train yard and for the town hall expansion. You have got to be kidding me. You know what's funny about that, right? Well, I already ordered these parts, received these parts, and completed those projects. And here they are. Oh my gosh, what a journey. I need to do some research and get you some dates on this because it's pretty funny. So I'm part of the Lego Ambassador Network, or LAN, as I'm sure you all know at this point. And a while back, they actually did a pilot support program where you could order bricks and pieces from Pick a Brick Online. So all of these pieces were shipped to me from Lego through their Pick a Brick Online service. And I submitted my order, actually 2 orders, back in September of 2024 for 2 different projects, that being the town hall and also the train yard, just adding details to the train yard. I submitted the orders on September 9th and also on September 23rd. And you know me, I like to be very vocal about what I'm doing in the city. I like to share my plans. So I already vocalized these plans to the community. I said, yeah, we're going to be working on the train yard. We're going to be adding these details. And we're also going to be doubling up the town hall by making 2 half-corner modules. And Mrs. Bricksie and I actually made a prototype for that. We made half of it using makeshift parts. And we released a video on that on September 9th. And then we said, okay, we're going to order the pieces. And when those pieces arrive, we're going to double up the town hall. And once again, this is back in September of 2024. We waited patiently all the way until March of 2025, and then I decided to message somebody who was sort of in control of this support program, and I was like, hey, are we going to be getting these orders? Just because, you know, my audience is starting to wonder, and we're starting to wonder ourselves if we're going to be able to get these projects completed, and I need the parts to get going on these projects. And I was pretty much told that, yeah, there's no promise at this point, or, you know, keep your fingers crossed. They may or may not arrive. But at this point, it doesn't really look like this pilot program is going to be continued. So I was like, okay, well, whatever, it's all good. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to order the parts anyway to get these projects going. We're always buying parts to fuel projects in the city, but these projects have been put on the back burner for too long. I've talked about them too much to not continue doing this, and we need to get it going ASAP because I just want to get these 2 projects done. So I just went ahead and ordered the parts myself from Pick a Brick Online, right? Like we always do. We ordered the parts and they arrived, and then we were able to complete both projects in August of 2025. So approximately 1 year later, and here we are, 1 year later, this package mysteriously arrives at my door and it has the parts for both projects. Are you kidding me? That is so funny. We ordered all the necessary parts. So now I just have a bunch of excess parts that we're going to use, I guess, to do something different within the Lego city, which is all good. I appreciate it, Lego. That's awesome. You know, better late than never. This is amazing. Thank you. Now we have all these amazing parts that we can try and do something with elsewhere in the city, in the landscape, and also in the, whatever, like the modular city downtown core as well, which is pretty awesome. Was I planning on sorting Lego today? No, I was not. But what was I planning on receiving a gigantic order from PAV, actually 2 of them? No, I was not. But thank you so much, Lego. This is awesome. We have to brew some coffee now, sort this, and that's just going to be way better moving forward because we'll be able to visualize what we have and start using them and sort of go from there, I guess. Better late than never, and this is just too funny. All right, well, there you go. Having a lot of fun sorting, I guess. Whew, well, that took a long time. Oh my gosh, that was a lot of pieces. I don't recall the orders being that big. I'm starting to think that Lego just sent me all this stuff to test my sorting skills or my sorting capacity. And you know what? We're not even done yet. Because by the end of it, I was like, I am just so tired by breaking this down by exact piece. So for example, dark gray brick, 1x3, 1x2, 1x4, 1x6, 1x8, breaking it down and sorting it into the bins as I go. It takes so much longer to do that. That's why I just ended up breaking it down by part type. And then I'll save putting it into the drawers or filing it away for another day just because it takes so much longer. Oh, can only do so much sorting in one day, I think. But legitimately, I think it's actually faster to do it this way. Like put all the plate in one bin and put all the brick in another bin. And then once you get the desk cleared, pour this out and then sort it into the bins back there. Because if there's not like a crazy amount of the same part type, then filing it away as you sort it just takes so much longer. But I think everything in here, I can't even remember what we ordered and what it was for, everybody, and the plans changed. But right here we have like all the 1x1s in various colors, and they're the square ones. We also have the 1x1 round pieces. I think that was for like gravel road, and then we have like a bunch of fern elements over here, and a candlestick so we can create some mini sapling trees. Also a bunch of wedge plates in dark green and dark brown. We were planning on using those for the train yard, but we actually did it in dark tan when we went about ordering the parts on our own. A bunch of vegetation elements here, so that's good. We'll be able to reuse those throughout the countryside. A lot of crates, so I guess we're gonna add a bunch more crates and barrels and stuff like that to the harbor and also the train yard. And we actually planned on fencing the entire train yard and harbor off using these. But when we actually got around to detailing it ourselves without this order, we actually made a reddish brown fence using brick, plate, and tile, and then we used these in the harbor area. So now we have like a whack of these. I have no idea what I'm gonna build with these now. I don't know, maybe I'll say, hey Lego, I got it all nicely sorted for you. Do you want it back? Like, I no longer need it, I already bought it. And those attached to these elements. So I guess I'm gonna build some sort of big fence somewhere, maybe like an electric fence, or like some sort of cable fence, I don't know. A bunch of animals, which is good. That's always great for just adding details to the countryside. I put a bunch of the parts away, like all the big plates, all the 4x6 and all that stuff. I got all the windows here, some Mills material, and then the wall building material for our building that's already done, town hall in dark orange. And then I put a bunch of the light and dark gray away already, and then there's all the tile. So yeah, I just think it's easier to break it down like this and then file it away. I did not plan on doing this today. In fact, I'm taking care of a big Lego City project, and I was supposed to be finishing that today, but then I just sort of got distracted by this. You know, it is pretty funny seeing some of the parts that were in this order, because obviously since placing this order, we have ordered many times from Lego to stock our parts inventory, and we've also like acquired one of the biggest bulk collections of all time and sorted that into our parts inventory. So like a lot of the parts that we needed back in September of 2024, we no longer need. So like our part bins are like exploding, which isn't a bad problem. But like my buddy, the brick building biker, we acquired his collection, right? And we sorted all of his parts into these drawers. So it's like, wow, okay, well, we no longer like need this stuff right now at this particular point in time. But hey, you know what? With a city like ours, we're always like building so much stuff and using so many parts that they always come in handy. Like, you know, you might not need it right now because the whatever light gray plate bin might be completely full with an overstock bag, but eventually when we get around to mills plating more stuff like, I don't know, the medieval area or mills plating the deep sea area or whatever it may be, we're going to use all those parts and then we're going to, like, they go fast and then you're like, oh no, we need to order more parts. So it's not the end of the world having, you know, more parts in the inventory than you need. They always come in handy. You know, when you're sorting and you sort of get into the rhythm and you're like, okay, I should really stop doing this. But wait a minute, the pile's getting smaller and you keep going and going and going and going. And then you look at your watch and you're like, oh my gosh, there goes the majority of my day. Okay, wow. But yeah, we've been working on a big Lego City project. It's pretty exciting. It is literally on the table right there. It's like 3/4 done. That's what I was planning on finishing today, but I got distracted by this box. Oh, that's cool, but I'll show you where the Lego City project is going down. You can see a big white space right there behind our train garages. So that's where we're working on a project for the Lego City. And I was thinking about all the parts that we just received at the train yard. I guess we can go through and add more wedge plates all throughout here and just add more vegetation and stuff from all the things that we got there. And we can also start decking out this area here. So I think that's good. But you can see the cable fence along here. And then we went with the reddish brown fence along here. So yeah, really don't know what we're gonna do with all those parts. But this is where we're working on the big project. What do you think we're working on? It's pretty exciting. I'm pretty pumped up on that. Maybe, depending on the order that these videos get launched, maybe you already know, I'm not sure. And then I've got to figure out what kind of building we're gonna build with all of those dark orange elements. I don't think I wanna add another floor to Town Hall. I think it's already big enough. So I guess we're gonna use essentially the same parts from Town Hall to create a different dark orange building. That'll be interesting. Maybe that building can go here or on the island or something. You know, it is sort of unfortunate that those arrived when I was already done those projects because I sort of need parts for different projects, like mountains and such. And as I mentioned many times in the last couple months here, we do have our biggest Lego order ever placed in the system. But sometimes when you go through the venues that we have access to here as a Lego ambassador, these venues take a little bit longer to act on fulfilling said orders. For example, this one took over a year. So I do have a bunch of stuff on order for the mountain, and it's gonna help us pretty much complete the entire mountain project. But it's just a matter of patience and a matter of waiting for those parts to arrive, because lesson learned, I should not just order parts. I have to be patient. Although the massive order that we have en route was done through a different system, and it is one that you have to pay for. So I know that that one's going to be fulfilled, so there's no way that I'm going to be placing other orders in addition to that. And it was through the same venue that we did an order with last year, and we received like over 100,000 parts. And those parts have gone into creating the city that we see before us now. But the new order is going to be for mountain building specifically, which is good. It's just a matter of time. And when those arrive, then we're going to go crazy with dark gray brick. We're talking like, I don't know, I think it's like 10,000 dark gray bricks or something like that. It is insane. So yeah, that's going to be fun. Yeah, just sort of wanted to figure out what was in that box and share my excitement, I guess. Let me know what you think I should build with all that stuff now, because technically don't really need those parts in particular right now, although a lot of them did fill the drawers or some of the bins that were empty, such as the light and dark gray brick and all that. So it's not the end of the world. Thank you, Lego, I guess. Everyone, thank you so much for coming by. Please don't like, subscribe, and stay tuned for a while.